Here are the assembly instructions for my high heel shoe. I'm going to start with this piece, and I'm just folding down on all the score lines. Now I've cut this piece and all the other black pieces out of 80-pound Cricut cardstock. So this is going to be the heel of my shoe. I'm just using my Cricut scraper tool just to fold down, make sure these score lines are nice and straight. And these as well. My heel is shaped like a pentagon, so it has 5 sides. So it has 5 equal panels, and then it has one thin panel at the end. I'm just putting glue all over that one panel at the end. That's going to be my tab to connect both ends. I'm just folding over my piece so that the cut edge of this end is right against the score line of my tab. So I have a very small piece at the end here. I'm just taking my Cricut reverse tweezers and I'm putting them in place. I'm just getting in there with those tweezers to make sure that the edge of that cut edge is right against the score line on my tab. I'm just pinching those pieces together so that they adhere nicely together. Now I have my tabs at both ends, and I'm just folding them outwards out of the way so I can take a closer look. So I have this smaller, narrower end, and then I have the larger end at the top. I'm going to start by the bottom, and I'm just folding down one of those little squares and putting glue on the top of the square. Then I'm going to grab the square next to it. I'm just putting glue on each square and folding them all down. Like so. I'm going to take the smallest pentagon in the file. I'm going to put glue all over that end piece. While this glue is still setting, I'm going to cover that end piece with the pentagon. If anything's out of shape, this is a good time to sort of pinch it back so that you have that proper pentagon shape at the bottom of your heel. So now I've turned my piece over, and then I'm going to take, it doesn't matter which one of the triangles, and I'm going to fold it down so that the peak of the triangle hits right between the 2 triangles. Then I'm going to put glue on the top of that triangle, and then I'm going to choose one of the ones across from it and fold it down in the same manner so that the peak of the triangle hits between what would be these 2 triangles right there. And then I'm going to put glue on this triangle and fold it down the same way. When I fold it down, it falls right at the edge of this triangle. I'm just going in there with my tweezers and making sure that that glue is taking. So I'm going to fold down the 2 remaining triangles in the same way, like so. And then I'm going to grab the larger pentagon in the file, and I'm just going to put glue on top of that piece and glue my pentagon on top. I'm just going to make sure that it's in the right position, and I'm just going to press down on my mat. Not too hard, I don't want the shape to collapse, but by just applying a little bit of pressure, it'll help that glue take. So that's the heel done. Next we're going to move on to the bottom of our shoe. I'm just going to fold down on all the score lines. So this score line at the very top gets actually folded in the opposite direction, and this becomes the shape of my shoe. Now I have these 2 pieces that are mirror images of one another, and these will go along the sides of my shoe. So I'm just folding down on the 2 score lines on each piece. And so now I'm putting glue all along the tab that's at the bottom. I have the curved part that's going to go at the top of my shoe, and I've got that little pointed edge that's going to go at the bottom, and you want to just slip this in and put it right along the edge of your shoe. This is the bottom of my shoe that we're looking at here. I just want to place this so that it's right along the bottom. I'm doing the exact same thing for the other piece. I'm putting glue on that tab. So the curved part is towards the heel. I'm just slipping this piece in right up against that slit, making sure that the cut edge is right against the score line of the tab. Now we're going to work on the front. There are two little score lines that don't go all the way up, so you just want to fold down on those score lines like so. With that shoe piece at the very tip, there is a tab, and you want to put glue on that one tab. Take your shoe piece and then just adhere it to that tab like so. And then you have two tabs on either side of your toe. Put glue on both those tabs. So both those tabs are tucked under, and just adhering them to either side of the bottom of the walls of the bottom of my shoe, like so. I have these little tabs on the side, these little triangular tabs. I'm just going to go in there and put some glue on those tabs. I'm just going to bring them in to glue those two panels on the side of the shoe together. And I'm going to do that on the other side as well. Just put glue on that one triangle, and I'm just adhering it to that front panel. So next I'm going to put glue all along these upper tabs here. I'm just going to glue so it just joins the sides of my shoe to the top of my shoe. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other side. So I'm just putting glue on both those tabs and then just pulling my top piece over to the side so that the edge of that piece is right along the score line of the tab all the way. So next I'm going to grab my heel, and I have my shoe upside down. I'm putting glue all along that large pentagon on the heel. I'm going to glue this down so that it's approximately centered within the score lines. So you want the point of the heel to be towards the back of your shoe, and you want this flat edge of your heel to be parallel as much as you can with the score line that's on that back piece, like so. So next I'm going to take this one piece with the little tabs that look like teeth on one end, and I'm just folding down on all those tabs. Now this piece is going to be curved at the back, so I'm just sort of training my paper. You can use your bone folder, put a little curve into it before you put it into place. I'm going to put glue on the tab that's from the score line to the edge, like so. And then I'm going to make sure my teeth are towards the shoe, gluing that part. Now you want this curve to make it look like it's a continuous curve, like so. And then I'm going to do that for the other side as well. I'm going to put glue just along the tab, glue the edge of my cut piece right against the score line of my tab, and again trying my best to make this a continuous curve. And then I'm going to lift this piece out of place temporarily and just put glue on all those little toothy tabs. That's my new name for them. And then I'm just sort of spreading it so the shape of this piece matches the shape of the sole of my shoe. With all those tabs, I'm just going to make sure that they are stuck down properly. So now I have these two little pieces that look like arrows, and I want to fold down on the score line here, folding on that score line, and I'm folding on the other score line as well. I'm doing that for both sides. I'm going to put glue on both those triangles. One triangle is the extension from the side right there, and the other triangle is the part from the top. It gets folded down like so. I'm going to place my shoe so that the heel and the sole are both firmly on my craft mat, and I'm just going in there and I'm pinching that glue against the side. So I'm just going in there with my index finger and just pinching that glue against the side, and I'm just going to do that with the other side as well, putting the glue in on both those layers, pinching down on the sides. Maybe easier to show you with my hands out of the way, but you really want to pinch down on that part of the shoe. There are 3 layers there being glued together. So now my shoe has been assembled. I'm using Cricut Pearl paper for this, which is a beautiful, beautiful material. However, it doesn't get along very well with my glue. So for the inside, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just along the edges in the hopes that it doesn't show too much. Sneak it in. And so once it's in, I'm going to put a bead of glue all along the edges, like so. If you're using regular cardstock for this, you can just put glue all along the surface as you would with any cardstock. And then I have my red sole. And again, this is just because my Pro paper and my glue don't work well together. And there's my 3D high heel shoe.